All right. As you guys can see, I have no glasses on. I'm going blind today. But it is a Saturday. It is kind of late. Not very, but kind of late. And I just got home. I was busy pretty much the entire day. Had some work to get done. Had to go visit some family. And then, now we're here. Um, So we're doing another setup or strategy Saturday. Sorry, strategy Saturday. I'm gonna try my best to improve my strategy, um, curate I'm so lost right now. It's like I take off my glasses and all of a sudden I don't know what's happening. Let me make sure my mic is working. My mic is working. Okay, so strategy Saturdays. Basically, what we're trying to do on Saturdays, if you are new, basically just backtesting previous day or multiple previous days. I usually just do one day, try to make it 30 minutes, try to analyze everything that I can, talk a little bit about what I'm thinking of, what I'm seeing, and what I can improve. Um, so, yeah, it's usually just one trading day. And basically, off of that, I'm trying to curate my strategy and re I was gonna say redefine, but not really redefine, but like just reinforce my strategy, how I think, what confluences I use, what's the best method, what time I should trade. Just stuff that make up a normal trade, right? So I'm cleaning my glasses right now, so in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and um, rinse them off and then put them in another solution to clean them. Uh, so I will just drag out this intro a little bit. Um, but basically, uh, I'm going to choose a day to backtest. I'm gonna backtest through it, try to take maybe one trade if I find a really good trade, but then if I find something even better, right, like a ping pong, catching the highs, the extremes, the lows, um, and going back and forth, if I can catch trades like that, I will try to do 2 to 3 trades. I don't really want to do much more. um, I'm going to do it in the form of setting a shown position, so the long or short position here, um, and then I will do it in the form of setting up entries as well. Uh, so the long position will be where I would normally enter as if I were doing a 10 contract trade, right? And then the other trade will be 5 different positions at 2 contracts each so that I can end off on a 10 contract trade. Um, I'm kind of doing this because I want to experiment a little bit and see which one I'm better off doing. I do believe I should kind of mix match the two strategies. On certain days, I'll use multiple different entries, and then on other days, I'll use the one entry 10 contracts, right? I think it would be best to do the one entry 10 contracts on days where stops are going to be super big, um, and then target as low as possible, right? And then I think days where I do multiple entries would be something where I'm not as sure of the trade, but I have an idea and I do trust it a lot. Then I would do something like, oh, below this low, right? As a just in case, down here just in case, and then 3 other entries above, right? Just to make it so I'll at least be in 1 to 2 entries. But if we do go lower than that or higher than that initial belief, then I would be able to get in on all entries, and my risk wouldn't be as big, right? Um, so yeah, that being said, I probably have like 1 or 2 minutes, yeah, 40 seconds. So I'm gonna choose a day and then I'm gonna go resolute my thing. So I'm gonna start a new day and we're gonna go ahead and do sometime in January. Let's do like January 21st. All right. So we're gonna do January 21st. I'm gonna go ahead and clean off my glasses real quick and then put them in a different solution. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. If anything, I'll put this into editing software and then I'll speed it up because it's a strategy Saturday. There's no point in making you guys wait. So I'll just, yeah, I'll be right back. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there for the remainder of the video, and I'm gonna go ahead and lock in now. So we are trading this day. Sorry, 11 p.m. Tuesday. We're going Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday, the 21st of January, right? I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. I'm actually go ahead and get rid of like all of Asia session and whatnot. And I'm gonna go on the daily time frame so I can see how we close. So apparently Monday doesn't have a candle this day. I'm assuming it's also holiday, um, a holiday, and that's why it's not showing. Let's go ahead and see news. Sorry, I'm really blind, so I have to be really close. January 21st. Let's actually go from the 19th to the 21st. So, yes, Monday is a bank holiday. That's why there's no news. So, Wednesday, we see not much. Not much. We do have a 7:30 a.m. President Trump speaks, but that doesn't matter to me because I don't trade during those times. There's a new walk here. So, Monday kind of closes bearish, it seems like, and so does Tuesday. It is hot in my room. Let me drink some water real quick. Stay hydrated. Um, so yeah, Monday closes fairly bearish, and then Tuesday also ends up closing bearish. Um, so then Wednesday, I expect bearishness to close below this low, potentially. Uh, I would see that that's the most likely. My door just opened. If you can't see, it's my dog. Um, hey, hello. Hold on. Now I got a dog with me. So, lay the other way. Yeah, that way I can actually. No, don't lick my legs, bruh. Stop, stop. No, no, no. Okay, and she goes back to licking. So yeah, most likely gonna see bearishness on this Wednesday move down to lows around here, maybe even up to this order block. We'll put a high time frame PD array, reset chart view. Okay, yeah. So I'm expecting we move down to these levels around here. If we do stop, we stop probably here. If you see me like squint my eyes a lot or close one eye, it's because everything I see is out of my left eye. My right eye is completely cooked. So I'm trying to focus in. Stop! No! Stop it! I'm trying to focus in. Um, not working very much, but so now we're gonna go down to the hourly time frame. We're gonna see. So yeah, Wednesday I expect to come down towards here, and then Thursday we probably reject off of this liquidity sweep here or something between here. I don't even think we get down to this level. If we do, not crazy, but I just don't want us to. But it's possible, right? Then we go to the 30-minute time frame, and we're gonna go ahead, skip ahead to see 12 a.m., 2 a.m., 5 a.m., and then 9:30 a.m. So those are the key levels I want to be paying attention to. Okay, so now from what we see here, Asia session, we move about 108 points. So at 108 points, I'm targeting about 200 to 225 points. Actually, let's go down a little bit. Let's go 175 to 225 points. I like that range more because there's potential that we actually don't move 200 points and we only move 175 ish or around that level. But yeah, I will be targeting. I'll probably be targeting the lower half of that section. I'll be targeting 175 to 200 points today. We have decent news, so we could potentially do a little bit more. But I think that we might get a lot of it during Trump speaks. Um, if we do go higher first, our first objective would be this high here. Um, London protraction phase, we see 46 points, not really an expansion, kind of a consolidation, which means I'll probably be trusting London delayed protraction much more. So we either go bullish or bearish here. I kind of want to indicate bearish though. Yep, okay, so there it is, perfect. We indicate bearish in the London delayed protraction phase. So now the pre-AM trend is either going to continue the trend bearish and create a potential to hit a retracement into the 50% and then continue lower, or this does a retracement up towards here. But what I want to see first is, because we've passed the 12 to 5 a.m. phase, I want to see if there's any um, SMT divergences, right? So right now we do have an SMT divergence on the Dow Jones. It takes out Asian lows, while Nasdaq and S&P 500 have not. So I'm expecting us to move bullish from this level up to around here-ish, potentially. I don't know if we sweep this high, but we might. Ooh, we actually don't. Okay, so 9 a.m. here. This is a product of who knows what. Um, but we do end up sweeping London and Asia highs. Do we see it in S&P 500? We do. Dow Jones? We do. So we have no SMT. So I have no reason to reverse quite yet, but I do want to reverse at some point. Um, this candle right here kind of indicates some strength bullish. So we could actually see the bearish move late in the day, and more of a bullish, slow bullish trend early in the day, right? So let's test out the theory. Um, I'm on the wrong one. I'm on the wrong contract. Yeah, okay. I completely forgot. Okay, whatever. Whatever, right? So whatever. Um I need a whole, this is S&P 500, isn't it? This is S&P 500. Let me add Dow Jones to this real quick. Micro E-mini Dow Jones. How how come I can't add it to the? Oh, there you go. It's just all the way down here. All right, so Dow Jones. Okay, so I don't need the confluences. I'll just see. I don't need to redraw them. So we see this is at 9:29. We're gonna go back to the 30-minute just to make sure. Uh, yep, swept here, and swept here. So that, yeah, we're good. We are good. So now we check opening candle, and we see a bullish push with a bearish candle, or sorry, a bearish wick. We want to see, I can't quite see that. I need to actually see the numbers now. Low 165, low here is 164.25. So we didn't sweep that low. We didn't sweep that low, and we didn't sweep this low. So yes, I would argue that we could continue higher here, and I do believe that we do. Okay, that's first presentation. We tap into first presentation. First presentation fair value gap. What am I doing? I'm on S&P 500. Okay, we have the same first presentation. I guess. So we fill first presentation here. What do we do with it? We drop lower and close below. Can I potentially maybe see what happened? Thank you. Same thing here. Not the same thing here. So Dow Jones is going to go higher. S&P and NASDAQ are going to start moving lower off of this liquidity sweep, I believe. This is only 10 minutes in. I'm going to give it another 5 to see what happens with the 15. We tap back into the first presentation. If I wanted to get in here, I would have probably gone in at this level and targeted something more like this, but I don't think that it's a smart idea, so I wouldn't have entered here because I believe that because we took it out so quickly and so easily, I believe that we start off market open by ranging, and we're just going to keep disrespecting this first presentation and continuously get retail liquidity in and out and in and out, which was shown. 47. So the 15-minute candle closed fairly bullish, but as a doji. So um, go ahead. 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Okay, so then go to the 30-minute time frame, and we see there is buy side liquidity here, and B, there is an order block right here. Đừng đi vô phòng con. My bad. I had to tell my mom that she should not come into my room right now because I'm working on something. 15. So we close bullish. Hey, you're laying on my phone? Let me get my phone out so you can be comfortable. Thank you. Okay. So now what I want to look for is another SMT. I believe Dow Jones could have potentially already taken out this buy side liquidity just because of the way that it was moving prior to NASDAQ and S&P 500 moving bullish, right? It was already bullish when these two were bearish at the time. So, ooh, it didn't. It did touch into propulsion. This touched into the wick of the order block. And this also touched into the wick, but it hasn't hit the order block itself. What we're going to do here is we're going to do an order block, extend to the right, and then same here. And this one is already in it, so we're just going to keep waiting. We're going to continue to wait. That's fine. Nice. Decent structure. This is a consolidation at a level of liquidity which can very well reverse price. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at S&P 500. It's doing the same thing, and Dow Jones, it's not doing quite the same. But because we're at this liquidity, did you just fart from your mouth? That was nasty. And then she sneezed on my leg. Okay. So because we do this consolidation at a zone of liquidity, what I want to see, I'm going to do this. I would enter off of this and put stops just at that high, and then target the lows, right? And I think that's my only entry I would do. If we disrespect this, I would wait until we take out this liquidity zone first, right? So I would get in 10 units because it's a micro, and then risking 550, targeting 5,800. But then what I would also do is I would be taking partials. So my first partial would be, can I change this to consequent? Thank you. First partial would be at this 50%, and I would take out two contracts right on it. And then I would move this down to here. I would take another two right here. That's fine. I would take another two right here. And honestly, I would target more than this. How much is this in terms of points? Because again, I said I was only targeting 170. This is 230. Yeah, I'm out of most of my position by 180. So the rest of this is kind of just like letting the trade run. I wouldn't normally target this much on a day like this because Asia didn't move very much. Um, However, again, we have decent news. So if we do see a crazy move um, lower than I expected, I wouldn't be too extremely surprised. But again, there's potential I lose this trade, and I lose the trade. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there, take a moment, and see here potentially why I did wrong. I think that I should have waited for this level to be hit because it's the 50% of the order block, and 50% is usually the most important or one of the most important locations. Another thing is there's no liquidity that has been taken uh, until now. There's an SMT divergence, so I don't know. We will see how this moves, but I do think we might potentially want to take out this buy side liquidity on one of the charts, um, and maybe even move after that a little higher. But I, I expected that. It wouldn't have been too insane, like I said, to take that out, but I thought that was a good moment that if we did continue to move down, would have been a good time to enter because it looked kind of like, I believe it was yesterday or the day before yesterday where had I taken the bearish trade at that peak, I would have caught 200 points, but I didn't because I was scared and I lost the trade, which is fine, right? But now we do have a 1 minute SMT. However, like I said, 1 minute SMTs during January through March time kind of just happened all the time and didn't really have any trust factor to them. And that's why, yeah. So I do believe we're gonna take out this buy side liquidity now. So I'm just gonna hold out and wait. We do touch the body of the order block and then start moving down, but again, we will wait and see. SMT. SMT gets taken. I don't know why it's lagging like that. Yep, SMT got taken. So yeah, I'm waiting for this high to be violated, and then a potential move lower after the lunch hour. Trading during lunch hour is not the best idea because it oftentimes consolidates. So we're going to skip ahead a little bit here. We don't take the buy side liquidity. Never mind. Yes, we do. Why is it so much lower than the other one? Okay, so not too worried then. Yeah, there's no real SMT. Yeah, we've taken it on every single chart. However, on Dow Jones, we took out the Asian and previous day London close as well. Here we missed the Asian, and here we take the Asian and previous day Asian. So, okay, this would be prime time to start reversing, right? There is a liquidity void up here, but, there's potential we continue lower. We do have a strong move here, though. So now that I see this right here, I would expect something like this to come down towards here, right? So now we're in the lunch hour. We see strong move, strong move. But the question is, do we continue the strong move or do we move higher? Okay, with this, I do kind of want to take something lower. So I would do either 10 positions right here with stops like right there, and then targeting here, 178 within my threshold, right? I wouldn't have a hard stop. Or I would do 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. Then I would run 2 here. How are you asleep already? And 2 there, just in case, right? So what do we see happen? We see price run all the way down without retracing into my entry. That's what we see happen. Okay, and we go all the way to my... And you know what? You know what? You know what? Yeah, I'm going to take a bullish trade. Should I take a bullish trade? I'm going to do it because it's backtesting and I'm trying to learn. I failed here, I was right. I was exactly right on what would happen when it would happen. It just didn't come back up. It didn't retrace, you know, and that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. But it's fine, Now we're in the 50% bearish. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead. Since we have such a strong move here, I'm gonna wait a little bit to see. To see something like this. We're gonna do this. 2 here. 2 here. 2 here. 2 below this low. Actually, no. We're going to go like down here and then 2 down here. Because I don't want us to come all the way back down towards here. But if I were to do 10, right, I would just get in at about this level. Because this would be 50% of the fair value gap and 50% of the order block at the same time. And then what I would target, because we've seen so much movement bullish, I understand that we might want to actually fill this, right? And we have, what time is this? This is 12 p.m. We have 12 p.m. USD, Trump speaks. It's orange news, not crazy. So we could potentially see something from here, right? See, so we do go lower. Okay, and then stops. I would probably have stops here. This is a little bit much, but I want to see if we reject off of a first presentation or we continue lower. Okay, we continue lower. So yeah, I was probably right on the day. If I had taken those 2 losses, I would have been done for the day entirely, and I would assume that price is going lower. But since I'm not trading the day, what I would do is be greedy. How we get in here? No, I wouldn't get in here, but I would probably wait for us to come back up to here, but I'm just getting in here just to get in, right? And it's probably going to move lower on the day or move higher. We could potentially move higher. If we move higher, though, that would suck. Oh my, yeah. Yeah, okay, so again, 3 for 3 on losses. I always do this. I always get in at the wrong time. Right idea. Okay, so multiple things. Multiple things. First of all, I read this right. This was absolutely right. And you know what? From now on, I think if we do something like this that I liked, right? And we have an entry here, I'm going to start getting in for half of my positions, so 5 positions, and then have the other half ready down where I want to enter, right? Because I had all my entries around this level, but we just never retraced to it, right? Then down here, same exact thing. All my entries down here, we took it, took me out, and then continued higher. So what I'm going to do is that one was just so bad. That's just on me entirely. Um yeah, I mean I was right, so I'm happy for that. I was right. Uh I was absolutely right. I saw this move here, so I changed my mind, right? I took a really nice low risk trade right here. Or right here. Lost 500, whatever, right? Come up to here and we see liquidity swept, Asia session back here, perfect prime time to see some bearish action, right? Had I just taken the trade at that moment, wouldn't have been the smartest idea, but it would have worked out, right? But I don't want to do that. What I would have done was waited for this type of move, right? As soon as I saw this type of move, I should have just immediately taken bearish drawed stops up to here because I don't even think that's a lot of risk. I believe it was this candle that I saw. Had I gone in here, it is a decent amount of risk to be fair, but I would be willing to risk that, right? I said I wasn't going to do a hard stop here. My hard stop would have been like filling first presentation or coming all the way down to here or something down here, right? Like let's say I had hard stop here, right? Um, Smartest choices, honestly, smartest choices to do two here, right? Now, why? It's because it's a zone of liquidity, and I expect price to come down to the 50%. I have seen sometimes that price doesn't come all the way down to 50%, but stops pretty shy of it. But it would still usually be around a liquidity zone. So I would do two there, right? Probably another 2 to 4 here. I'd actually want most of my position out here. So I'd be doing 4 there, and then another 2 like right here, right? And I would have been like, oh, okay, we're coming all the way down. 1, 2, right, 3, and then we see some rejections. Okay, now what am I doing? Whoa, stops brought up all the way to break even, right? And then I just play it out. Oh, we're coming close to my next. Oh, wow, we actually do go all the way down there. Um, Sorry, we would go down to the low, but yeah. Oh no, I'm stopped out, right? That's fine. And then we see, hey, we're starting to struggle at this level. We see strength here, indecisiveness here. Buy. 10 entries. Stops. 1.1k. Now with my winnings, right? Um, oh, that was only 3.5k. That's actually not even crazy. But now with my winnings, right? Now I'm looking at 1k stop. Okay, I don't mind that. What is my next target? 50% of the liquidity void. Why? Because we saw we're drawing to the liquidity void. We retraced. We have strength to continue drawing. Okay. What am I waiting for? Consolidate, moves, and then shoots. And then we end up taking 50%. I don't think we fill. We might come close to filling. I don't know if we fill before the We might fill, but I expect kind of a consolidation. Not even. We retrace. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I could have profited 11K on the day. Well, actually, I would have had to take partials, so probably not 11K. Maybe around closer to like 9K, whatever, right? Uh, I would have caught way more points. Um, would have done way better. So, what a day! What a day that was. Okay, so my biggest mistake, number one, um, wasn't scared to take the entry, but I was waiting for a re-entry, and it was dumb because that re-entry was already so close to where the entry, or that re-entry was already so close to where price was at the time, that it made no sense to want that, right? Sure, it would have been like less drawdown, few more points of winnings, um, yada yada yada, whatever, right? But looking at what I just saw right now, where I had position set and I didn't even get a win or a trade in, that sucks, right? And then the second part was, sorry, I thought a YouTube was playing in the background. If there was YouTube in the background the whole time, I was not recording that again. That was pointless. But yeah, I saw SMTs up here, opening right here. Perfect time to take an entry. I said it. It was prime time to start a retracement or a reversal, and we took it. I should have taken it right where we were, right? I would have seen that this was most likely the peak, right? Just take 20 points, 30 points above whatever the high is, and pray for the best, right? But no, I just didn't get in. And then down here, we were in the 50%, and I don't know what's wrong with me, but I was thinking, oh, let's take one straight at the 50%, straight down here, whatever, right? No, I should have been waiting and waiting and waiting, and then seeing, hey, there's a pretty strong voluminous candle right here. We reject off of it and then retrace back into levels around it. That's the perfect time to enter, right? We enter off of this, take it to where I wanted to. Boom, 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 boom. We would have had crazy wins, right? So the biggest issue here was the fact that I was analyzing mostly the 1 minute and not really paying attention to the 15 and the 5, especially because uh, the 5 would have helped me on the second trade, but the 1 minute definitely should have helped me on the first trade. That was just entirely user error. I should have been able to get in. I just didn't. Uh, the 5 minute would have helped me here. I would have seen this movement right here. Um, Move up, consolidation, move up, right? We take out liquidity up here. Okay, what do we have? Engineered liquidity here. Move down and then a move back up, indication to resurge, retrace into the 50%. I could enter here, could have entered here, could have entered here. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possibilities for me to enter, and I didn't get one. So yeah, it's entirely my fault. My sorry, my pre-market read was slightly off in terms of literally the direction. That's it. Um, we did 400 points. So we had decent news today, and I just remembered. Yeah, this was news. Yeah. We had decent news today, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the Asia session method reading works, but sometimes with news like decent, like pretty strong news like that, or not strong, but decent news like that, um, it's a little bit hard, difficult, right? Uh, Usually on days where the Asia session actually reads price best is when we move around 200-ish points during Asia session, and we have like, let's say 5 yellow folder, 2 to 3 orange folder news events, and they're not like strong news events like Trump speaks. Trump speaks can be really iffy. He says China once, and then we just go bearish. Um, but yeah, I definitely think that I messed up today, 3 times actually, not even twice, 3 times. I took 3 for 3 losses. Um, but yeah, I mean, you live and you learn. You take the trade, you lose, and you learn from it, right? So definitely going to have to fix that, change that up a little bit. So from now on, I'm thinking when there's a position that I'm like super hard on, but I'm just kind of wary of where to enter. I'm gonna go ahead and take 5 contracts right where price is, and then have another 5 just ready on standby as a limit position. That way, if we see price continue to run without retracing, we just move the limit position as close as possible, but in a decent position to take a trade. And if not, then we end up getting in anyway. And then if we lose, we lose, you know? So what? Um, and then as for this down here, I'm going to stop doing this thing with my stop where um, I see that the stop loss is kind of far and then I drag it up just to mitigate losses a little bit because I'm scared. If I'm scared of that trade, right, I shouldn't have taken it in the first place. Um, and instead of moving stops up, I should move it farther down to um, what's it called? To reduce the chances that we just prematurely take my stop because there's a liquidity zone there, or not a liquidity zone, a PD array there, right? Um, and I know a lot of you might be thinking, "Oh, that's terrible, poor risk management." I risk management for me is like pointless because I'm on funded accounts, right? I'm not risking my own money. Yes, it's good to have risk management, and my risk management is going to be in way of I'm going to be taking less trades and taking more high risk to reward trades, right? So my entry was like right here, right? Stops 52 points. Okay, boo hoo. 400 points is my take profit. So we're at a 9.0 risk to reward. So that's kind of my risk management. Yes, it seems like a lot of money, but again, yeah, risk management is different for everybody. Um, and I also believe that I'm going to be using like 10 contracts on the normal E-mini NASDAQ whenever I'm actually live. So yeah. But yeah, that's just going to be it for this video today. Pretty long video, actually. Pretty trash video, too. I took so many losses. I don't think I'm going to get any shorts out today because I'm tired and lazy. So I'm going to try to spam as much as I can tomorrow if I have time and energy and literally any ability to record a video, right? But yeah, so so yeah, I'm gonna just post this, edit it up a little bit so that 5 minute gap of me doing nothing is not there anymore. And hopefully tomorrow I have enough time to record the other video.